Okay guys, to continue our lesson, let's talk about a specific verb from the list that I gave you. That's the verb wonder, this verb right here. Now, the verb wonder is a special verb because you need to bear in mind, you need to remember that when you use the verb wonder, you cannot use the word that after it. If you are going to use the verb wonder, what you use is if you are going to use a noun clause after it. They wondered if they were going to be given another package. When they were children, they wondered if they would get married, etc. You cannot use that with wonder. Now, check this another example. I think that this book will be interesting. You'll see that in many cases we omit the word that in clauses. In noun clauses we can omit the word that and the sentence will still transmit the same idea. There will be no problem with that. So I could also say, I think this book will be interesting. And this is a special case because in part of its expletive nature, I can omit the word that. Now, let's talk about noun clauses that use WH words. You need to remember that these noun clauses have statement word order. What does it mean when I say that a clause must have a statement word order? It means that you use the WH word, you use the subject, and you use the verb. Okay? That's a statement word order. Do not use the question word order. That is to say, WH word, and then verb, and then subject. Do not use this. That is not the right way to create a noun clause with WH words. And this applies even if the noun clause is inside the question. Now, I want you to see this example. They don't know what Karen is doing. See? WH word, we have a subject and we have a verb. I wonder how Jim feels today. I wonder how Jim feels today. I have this noun clause over here. I wonder how. Notice that I'm not using that. Where Javert put my book is a mystery. So WH word, subject, verb, and in this case, I have a direct object in the complement. In this other case, I have a WH word, a subject, a verb, and I have this adverb that complements the sentence. They are still noun clauses. How do I know they are noun clauses? Because they behave like nouns. How do I know they behave like nouns? Because they are performing roles that only nouns and noun equivalents can perform. They don't know what Karen is doing. Is the direct object. I wonder how Jim feels today. I wonder what? How Jim feels today. That's again the direct object. Where Javert put my book is a mystery. What is a mystery? Where Javert put my book. That is acting as the subject. Okay? So that's how I know they are noun clauses. Noun clauses can also happen after verbs that show importance or urgency. Verbs like advise, ask, order, suggest, demand. We also have some expressions that show importance or urgency, and they can also use a noun clause after them. And check this out. In all of these cases, it is advisable, it is essential, it is imperative, it is important, it is necessary, it is urgent. See, this is an adjective, an adjective, an adjective. If I use a noun clause after this, yes, it is advisable that you eat your vegetables. That you eat your vegetables is going to be an adjective complement. Remember that? This is an adjective and I'm using a noun clause to complement the idea of the adjective. The noun clause explains why it is advisable. Okay? So, I can use noun clauses after this. It is advisable that you eat your vegetables. It is essential that we be given another chance. In this case, I am using the subjunctive mood. That's not a mistake. It is essential that we be given another chance. That is correct, okay? Sometimes we don't use the subjunctive mood, especially because, not everybody that speaks English speaks with correct grammar. The same that happens in Spanish when we use our Spanish in ways that are not standard. The same happens with people who speak any language, including people who speak English as their native one. It is imperative that we wear a mask in these times, etc., right? After verbs that show importance of or urgency, the base form is used. It's what I was telling you about the subjunctive. When we use these verbs, what we tend to use is the subjunctive mood. That's why we are using the base form in these cases. For negatives, you have to put the word not before the base form. For example, it is advisable that we not go, or to give you another example, it is important that she not say who gave her gift, that she not say. I am not saying it's imperative that she doesn't say, it's imperative that she not say. So these are special structures. This is something that needs practice. This is something that needs a lot of constant use of the language, and always bearing in mind what the verbs actually mean, that I'm not using the indicative anymore, I am using the subjunctive mood. It is essential that babies have stimulation. That's an example for you. In this case, it looks like we have a subject-verb agreement, but this is actually the subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mood has no subject-verb agreement. I can show you this with this other example. I advise that she stay home with her children. I am not using stays home because I am using the subjunctive mood. Yes? How do I know this is the subjunctive? Because when I translate it into Spanish, this says, yo recomiendo que ella se quede en casa con sus hijos. No dice, yo recomiendo que ella se queda en casa con sus hijos. That's not what it says. It says, que ella se quede. That's the subjunctive mood. That's why I don't use an S over there. They require that we not block the entrance. I don't say they require that we don't block the entrance. Because if I say that we don't block the entrance, now I am using the indicative mood. And I'm not supposed to use the indicative mood with these structures. I'm supposed to use the subjunctive mood. Now, all that is left for us is to discuss some examples to see if we can understand how to use noun clauses. So that's precisely what we are going to be doing in the next video, guys.